Hi, everyone. Wow, these are really hard acts to follow. I'm afraid our activity is confined to planet Earth. Let me tell you a bit about it. So I'm the founder of Serelay, and before I talk about our technology, let me talk to you a bit about our mission. We want you to be able to believe what it is that you see. What do I mean by that? Let's take some examples. Let's start with rather mundane ones. If you're booking a property on Airbnb, you want to make sure that the photos you see are representative of that property. And indeed, Airbnb have always differentiated between verified photos and non-verified photos of listings. And for them, a verified photo means that their commissioned photographer was on site taking these photos. Dating websites. Badoo, the biggest dating website in the world, uses no less than 5,000 human moderators to make sure that profile photos are real. And then, of course, the elephant in the room is fake news in its many implementations. And we know that currently for Facebook, for Twitter, for Snap, there is no real-time verification mechanism for online content. They have some mitigating strategies, but none of these really work at scale to date. So you might think to yourself, why is that? Why is that these very tech-savvy companies are using these very rudimentary solutions, or they don't have a solution at all to allow you to believe what it is that you see? And one of the reasons for that is the state of the art in this domain, what's called digital forensics, isn't great, right? If you have a trained analyst and you have 4 hours and you have a photograph and you want to know if it's edited or not, maybe you have a shot at doing that. But that doesn't really scale to 2 billion photos being uploaded to the web daily. Moreover, this is only going to get worse. We are now coming to a position where we have these things called deepfakes, and you can generate a photo or a video of anyone saying anything. And not only are these very believable, not only are they becoming very cheap to produce, but they also completely bypass all the digital forensics tools that we have because they don't have any inconsistencies. They are generated from scratch. And this is where we come in at Serelay. So we're building what we call trusted media capture. And what we want to do is to enable any mobile device user to capture photos and videos that are inherently verifiable so that they can be queried for authenticity. We define authenticity very narrowly. We talk about content. Has one pixel changed at the point of capture? And we talk about context. Where and when was the original capture event? Now, just to make our lives a bit more difficult, we decided from day one that we are going to do this with 2 conditions. One, no username, no logins, no passwords. We do that because we want this to be as easy to use as any other camera technology. And we do this because we don't want to attribute the checks that we do to any named user. So we don't want to know who you are. Moreover, another decision that we made, which clearly differentiates us from any other competitors we have in this market, is that we don't do any content duplication. So we don't save a single photo or video on our servers. We see that media that you capture as your own, it should only live on your device, and if you want to share it, you can do so. We don't have it on our servers. We can't have our employees view it. We can't give it to any third party if they hack our servers or if they legally compel us to do so. Let me give you an example. So I was in London a few weeks ago, and as I was coming out, it was the building of the Daily Mail. I wasn't visiting the Daily Mail. I was visiting a different organization. And there was this quiet, peaceful little demonstration that was targeting Daily Mail employees. So I snapped a photo of it using the Serelay beta app. Now, if we wanted to check whether this photo checks out, this is all we need to do. So we uploaded it to the Serelay dashboard. And then we wait a few seconds. It gets uploaded, and it gets processed in real time. And what we can see there is that this photo is an exact match to the pixel of the original. It's not a jailbroken or rooted device or one running with developer options. And we even made sure that this is a real three-dimensional scene. So it's not me taking a photo of a previously taken or edited photo. Right? So simple enough, and it didn't take 4 hours. It took less than 30 seconds. Now, what if I got this photo and I had an interest to make sure that actually this demonstration wasn't really that peaceful, right? So maybe I can plant a little knife there in the right-hand corner and make you think that actually these guys aren't so innocent and they should be, some steps should be taken against them. Well, let's take this photo and upload it again. All right, so same process as before. It gets uploaded. And in real time, we see, OK, this isn't an exact match, and actually that's an issue there. Right? So we think that's really cool. That's something that doesn't exist today. But then what does the future look like, right? We can't imagine a future where all of us are uploading photos to dashboards all the time. So one of the things that we did about half a year ago is we built a Twitter clone, and we operated it for 48 hours. And during that time, any photo that was taken on our technology that was uploaded got verified in real time. And this is how we thought this sort of could be visualized. So this is the first photo that I uploaded of the Bodleian Quarter in Oxford. And you can see on the right-hand corner, there are these green icons that you don't typically get on Twitter that say, OK, the content, the location, and time here, check out. No human intervention needed. I then re-uploaded this photo again with a slight change. And you can see now that we have an issue with the content. And if you were to click on that icon, you'd see that that specific region has been edited. If you compare this to the previous photo, the original one, you will see that an LGBT flag that was there got airbrushed out. And we thought that's actually a good example of how changing a photo can lead to trying to change the narrative over something. So that's our technology in a nutshell. But I think when we talk about innovation, innovation isn't really about ideas or theoretical ideas. It's about taking something and building it. So I sort of wanted to reveal to you how we went about this. We didn't have much resources. We didn't really have any resources to begin with. So what did we do? So I incorporated Serelay in March of last year. And one of the first things we looked at is we thought, OK, who do we share incentive with in the ecosystem? And we looked around, and we saw that Google had this thing called the Digital News Initiative that was about supporting technologies in the digital news domain. So we made an application to them, and we said, look, Google, we want to build this. We think this could be very effective in tackling fake news. Please give us some money. We didn't have any special context there. We just made an application. And we got the money because our case sort of made sense. We spent about half a year building it, got a working prototype, got it reviewed, approved by Google, and retained all the IP rights. And then when we took the next step, we thought, OK, a lot of what we do is what we call geo-attestation. It's making sure the signals received on the device are authentic. A lot of those are satellite signals. And then we saw that the European Space Agency has this program that supports startups that make use of space technology. So we approached this program and we said, look, we are building this. Google seemed to think it's a good idea, so maybe you should give us some funds and support as well. And they did. So our offices are right now based in their facilities in the Howell Science Park. As a next step, our technology evolved, but we had some external entities doubting what it is that we do, whether it's actually safe from a cyber perspective and whether it's foolproof. So we approached CSIT, which is the Center for Secure Information Technologies, a UK government center of excellence. And basically what we asked them to do was try to break our technology, try to fool it, and show us how this could be done if they can, and if not, give us sort of their approval. And that's a process that's still ongoing with them. In March of this year, we started working on an Innovate UK project, which got approved and supported us for a 12-month period. In May, we won the Thames Valley Tech Awards for Best Startups. And just last month, we issued our first commercial grade SDK. So from that very theoretical idea, we are now on Android, on iOS, we do photos, we do videos, we do change level analysis. We haven't debuted it publicly on Google Play or the App Store, but I can make you an offer. If this is something that interests you and you want to use this technology, send me an email, roy@serelay.com. I promise you'll be one of our first users. Just last month, we got accepted into a program that's run by Facebook for deep tech for good startups. We haven't given Facebook any shares. They don't control our decision making, but they have a lot of resources that can be very, very useful for us as we go to the next step. And lastly, just this month, we got featured on the MIT Technology Review as one of 2 world leaders in this field of spotting deepfakes in real time. So it was us, Serelay, and a US-based competitor. And the article sort of put both of us on par, and I would argue that we even came up a bit better from a technological viewpoint. What the article didn't mention is that this US-based company started 3 years before us and raised 20 times the money. So I think what we learned from this process is that if you utilize the things that you have in your ecosystem efficiently, you can achieve things that would seem insurmountable at first. So that's our journey. I hope this is useful. Thank you.